Welcome back to another NFL recap show. During this show, I'm going to recap all the picks I gave out on my Week 12 preview show. I'm going to show y'all how I finished up, talk about some improvements I could have had, some picks that I got right, some picks that I got wrong, and what I can do to keep improving going forward. Transparency's sake, I went another 11-3 last week. I went 12-3 this past week. I went 11-3. Told you I was heating up. Told you I'm hot. Didn't quite get into the teens like I wanted it to, but another 10+ week. So I'm definitely loving that. I gotta combine my season record. I know I pretty kind of started late in the game, but as of late I've been rolling. I've been hot. So without further ado, I'm going to go into this card and tell y'all how I finished up. So this first game, Bills and the Texans. I knew this was upset alert. Josh Allen, he's just playing way too much hero ball. And the Texans got a strong defense. And strong defense is gonna win championships. I'm not saying the Texans is a championship team, but they do got a championship caliber defense. But yeah, that defense ended up getting 8 sacks and 2 picks on Josh Allen. Looked very, very good. And they held him to no passing touchdowns. So the only touchdowns the Bills scored was a long one on James Cook, and they scored another one on special teams. So this defense is definitely cooking. Davis Mills, hey, another win. Don't know how the team's gonna look when Stroud comes back. I know Stroud's a starting quarterback, but man, Davis Mills has been looking pretty solid. Definitely like for him to see another run on another team, see what he got going, because he definitely looks like a playmaker and somebody who can manage the game as well and get you wins in the pinch. But yeah, Buffalo got no weapons and it's starting to get it to them. Next game, figured the Chiefs was gonna win this one. This was an overtime game, so the Chiefs pulled this one out late. I just feel like the Colts was gonna come out sluggish out of the bye. Which they did. The one touchdown that they only got 2 touchdowns, and that one touchdown was off of Mahomes' interception, and they was already in the red zone, so it's not like they had to do much work to get there, and yeah, this game just showing you Jerry Jones is not an X factor. You want to force him to be a pocket passer, and shout out to this Chiefs defense because they held Taylor in check. And that everybody knows that's the key to beat the Colts. Josh Taylor only had 66 total. I mean, not Josh Taylor. Jonathan Taylor only had 66 all-purpose yards. So that's the way to beat the Colts. You stop Taylor, and you got you a win. Kind of you can bag up because Daniel Jones is not an X factor. He's not gonna beat you. Not gonna beat you with legs, and you got a big arm, and you want to force him to throw these big arms and give you some mistakes. Now this game he played mistake-free football, but still it wasn't enough. And like this team was never really moving the ball. Next game, the Seahawks and the Texans. I mean, figure this was another one because the Seahawks just the most complete team. Offense, defense. Jackson Smith the Jigma is looking like the offensive player of the year. But Titans, they showed something. The Titans really did show something this game. But still not liking this roster construction. Another game where Cam Ward was the leading rusher. And like I said before, he's a pocket passer. He doesn't even want to leave the pocket. So it just shows the inefficiency of Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. But this is another team that scored on the special teams, and it made this game look a little bit more respectable than it was. But the Titans got a little fight to them, got a little battle to them. So it seems like they're playing with this rookie quarterback and really roundly behind them. It's just they just don't have the talent. Next game. Vikings and the Packers. Now, I took an L on this one. I'm not sure this was my bias coming in from being a Chicago Bears fan and just optimistic thinking that the Packers was going to lose, because I said it once before, like J.J. McCarthy is a terrible quarterback, and he showed it again. Like, he had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and one fumble recovery. I mean, one fumble that was recovered for a touchdown. So Justin, J.J., he's not a good quarterback. Vikings got them some big problems. I definitely do think that KOC, the head coach there, will prefer a veteran quarterback. So that's going to be something to look out for the offseason. Maybe free agency, they sign someone, or maybe they even trade for somebody that's going to really challenge J.J. McCarthy, because has not been looking good. This game did not look good. But yeah, I didn't expect Wilson to pop off like he did, so that's why I was kind of leaning towards the Vikings. Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson, he showed something. I thought that the Josh Jacobs injury was going to be a little bit bigger of an impact, but when you got JJ McCarthy just throwing turnovers and doing literally in everything but win the game, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a tough game to win. So shout out to the Packers. I hate to say that, but yeah, just JJ McCarthy, you gotta get something figured out. Next game, the Jets and the Ravens. The Ravens, I mean, this was another win for me. But the Ravens, they're really rusty. This hamstring injury might be a little bit. It's concerning me now. Lamar Jackson didn't really have a great game. Henry did. Henry's finally showing something after in the beginning of the season where he was looking like a scrub and looks like Father Time was getting up to him. So it's good to see that Henry's bouncing back, but I want to see Lamar bounce back with them. But yeah, the Jets is just a trash team. So yeah, nothing really much to say about that. Jets still sorry, but the offense doesn't really look good. Offense is not looking good for the Ravens, and it's concerning. It's concerning for me. Next, oh man, I was rooting for Jameis. I think everybody in the league is rooting for Jameis. Fans, NFL players, like Jameis is just such a lovable person. Yeah, I thought the Lions was gonna win this in more convincing fashion, but they kind of struggled this game and had to go to OT, and they pulled it out thanks to Jahmyr Gibbs. He just rescued the day. But yeah, shout out Jameis though, but yeah, they could not stop Gibbs. He had over 250 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, Gibbs is that dude. Definitely probably the most explosive player in the NFL, and it might not even be close. Next, my Bears. My Bears got that win. Yeah. Bears working their magic again. Don't really feel good about all these close wins, but hey, it's building culture, it's building confidence, and yeah, another close win for the Bears. Yeah, but that turnover, if you bet the Bears get a turnover and you bet on their money line, that's literally a hack, because this defense got the most takeaways in the NFL, and if they get a takeaway, this team is likely going to win the game. Was kind of nervous at first when the Steelers recovered that fumble for a touchdown. So I was like, dang, we can't really be having turnovers like that. But we bounced back, got that win. But yeah, Steelers offense not explosive at all. So. In the upcoming weeks, the Bears, do I think they're going to struggle? Yes. But, they keep playing these teams like the Steelers, a lot of low league, low tier teams. We're going to get those wins. Next game, the Patriots and the Bengals. I mean, anybody probably can guess this. This was a little bit closer than expected, though. The Patriots offense really didn't show too much. But like I said, they was playing the Bengals. The Bengals gonna beat themselves before they beat anybody, and that's what it was. They was all over Flacco. Jamar Chase was out this game, so they didn't really have that many weapons. And the Patriots got a good defense, so they locked in, got that win. But the Pats they were on snooze this game, but yeah, they're leading the NFL, so I'm not sure they're taking that for granted or they just knew they was playing a weaker opponent, so they didn't really show up like that. But yeah, shout out to the Bengals because they still battling, despite the injuries and despite the talent they have on the defensive side. Next game, this was the start of Shedeur Sanders. After this game, they actually named him the starting quarterback. So, shout out to him. I know the fans loving to see it. I know a lot of Shedeur fans, and they want to see him doing well. And he played pretty good well. This offense looks definitely more explosive with him underneath the center. Had a lot of explosive plays that Gillen Gabriel was just not making. I know they were playing the Raiders, so that's not really holding too much weight. But it's good to see a first start go well for Shedeur. The Browns defense, tough. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much had this game in control all the way. That defense had 10 sacks. Geno is looking like a statue out there. And, who knows? Maybe that's a good trade candidate for the Vikings. I know this season hasn't really been too good for Geno, but maybe with a quarterback coach and a good head coach like KOC, maybe Geno can make a resurgence late again. But yeah, the Raiders are still bad. They're still terrible due to the offensive line and just Geno just not really being a quality quarterback. Next game, Jaguars and the Cardinals. I figured the Jaguars was going to take this one. This was a lot closer than I would have predicted, but the Jaguars play people pretty close. And that's just because Trevor Lawrence is a terrible quarterback. Trevor Lawrence kept both teams in the game. This dude had 3 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions and 1 fumble that was returned for a touchdown. So, Trevor Lawrence is gonna keep his team and the other team in the game, and I know this is just driving Liam Cohen pretty crazy, but they committed to him. So I don't know what's the future is gonna look like. This is just an average team with a pretty good running game though. So they're gonna have to find a way to maybe pivot off Trevor Lawrence if they're really gonna make some serious noise and teams are really gonna take them serious. In terms of the Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett got that little Jameis to him. Got that Jameis swag to him. He gonna put up numbers, but he gonna get losses. So, but still, shout out to Jacoby Brissett. It's been fun watching him. He's definitely improving this Cardinals offense, raising their ceiling. Have done a lot more than Kyler Murray did in these few games than Kyler Murray did in his entire season. So maybe that's a possible trade candidate with Kyler Murray. But yeah, it's not really much to say from these games. Just 2 average to below average teams battling out, and the team like Jaguars got the win. They're the better team. Like I said, Jaguars got a lot of wins underneath the belt, so put some respect on their names. But this is still not a serious team in my opinion. Next game, wow, this was the L for me, and I chose the Eagles, and if you watched that first half, you would have been feeling comfortable, but the Eagles just choked. After that first half, they put up 0 points. And they just kind of let Dak and George Pickens just run up and down the field with them. But yeah, another big game for George Pickens. 9 catches, 146 yards, 1 touchdown. But yeah, Barkley, man, what Barkley's MIA? What happened to Barkley? I think he got a little banged up in this game, but yeah, still 22 rushing yards. I know he had about 52 yards in the passing game, but yeah, this more speaks on to the Eagles choking than to anything. I don't really believe that the Cowboys is a good team. Yeah, the Eagles just choked this one up 21-0 and don't score again. Come on, you can't predict that. So whatever. Next game, this was another L for me. Thought the Saints was gonna take this one, just because Kirk Cousins is a terrible quarterback, and I thought they was gonna dial in and really stop the Falcons. But the Falcons had a pretty good balance, both with the passing game and the running game and their defense. Tyler Solik was the leading rusher for the Saints, and that's never good. Like when your quarterback is a leading rusher and your quarterback's not known for running. But Alvin Kamara got banged up in this game, so I was kind of leaning towards the Saints because that Solik and Kamara connection looked like it was kind of forming a little bit before the bye. But Kamara went out with an injury, and his absence was definitely felt throughout the game. Next game, this was never really a game. The Buccaneers and the Rams. Like I've been saying before, Rams got the best offense in the league, and like they showed that. Another solid performance from Stanford. Another 3-touchdown game, 273 yards. So Stafford and the Rams is looking like a Super Bowl contender. Very, very dominant. My preseason pick for the Super Bowl was actually the Rams and the Ravens. So Rams still showing what I believed. And the Buccaneers, Baker ended up getting hurt in this game. But after that fast start for the Buccaneers, this Buccaneers has definitely slowed down. These injuries are looking like it's looks like it's mounting up for the Buccaneers. And I mean, somebody has to win this division. But everybody in this division is terrible. Between the Buccaneers, between the Panthers, between the Falcons, and between the Saints. Like this is a trash division. Somebody got to win it. I couldn't tell you who will win it now. I mean, I'll probably lean more to the Panthers. But yeah, this whole division is trash. So speaking about the Panthers, last game, Monday Night Football. This was a very defensive battle at first. Both quarterbacks were throwing a lot of interceptions. Purdy had 3. Bryce had another 2. 49ers ended up getting this win. They're a better team. 49ers kind of win against average to subpar teams, and that's what the Panthers are. You can choose which whenever you want between them being average or subpar. Rico didn't really have a good game, and I kind of just forced Bryce hand. Bryce had that big week prior to that. But like I said, you can't count on Bryce to keep having you come through. But like I said, went 11-3 with these picks, so definitely feeling that. Be on the lookout for my Week 13 preview show. I'm looking to get in the teens. Still haven't gotten to the teens quite yet. Last week before this 11-3 week, I went 12-3, so I was 1 away. So keep watching, keep supporting. Drop in the comments below what y'all think for a lot of early favors. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of good Thanksgiving games coming on, and I'm gonna preview those for you as well. Give you my leans, give you my feels, and like always, thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for my next video.